The Ptolemies. When Alexander the Great died in 323 BCE, his large empire was divided between four of his army generals. The general Ptolemy, who became the king of Egypt and founded the Ptolemaic dynasty. He and his family, the Ptolemies, became the ruling royal family of Egypt for 300 years. King Ptolemy I and his family represented themselves as ancient Egyptians' kings. Ptolemy I was given the title Ptolemy I Soter, the savior. Ptolemy I was an educated man who wanted to make Egypt's new capital Alexandria a center of learning where the greatest thinkers would come. To achieve this, he built the Mausoleum, which soon became the most important place of learning with its unique library, the Library of Alexandria. He also built a great lighthouse, which it was considered one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. It guided ships to the coast of Alexandria, helping sailors to the safety of the harbor away from the rocks. Ptolemy I's successor was his son, Ptolemy II. Also an educated man, he continued in his father's footsteps. Ptolemy II attracted the greatest minds of the day, poets, scientists, mathematicians, astronomers, philosophers, to come to live in Alexandria and work in its wonderful library. Thus people of many different nationalities lived in Alexandria. Ptolemy II married his sister Arsinoe and so became known as Ptolemy II Philadelphus, which means the sister-loving. Queen Arsinoe was a very cultured woman who is believed to have encouraged her husband, half-brother, to collect scrolls and manuscripts for the great library. Hellenistic Alexandria. The period of Greek civilization which followed the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BCE became known as the Hellenistic period. Greeks already lived in Egypt before the arrival of Alexander, but these were mostly merchants and traders living in small city in the delta called Naucratis. Under the Ptolemies, however, more and more Greeks came to settle in Egypt. Alexandria became a leading center of Hellenistic culture. Gradually, certain aspects of Egyptian culture became more Greek, a process referred to as Hellenization. Queen Cleopatra VII. The most famous of the Ptolemies, however, was not a king but a queen. Queen Cleopatra VII was the last one of the Ptolemaic dynasty. It was during her reign that the Romans invaded Alexandria and that Egypt became part of the Roman Empire. Julius Caesar. In 48 BCE, when the Roman general, Julius Caesar, landed in Alexandria, Cleopatra was 21 years old. She had ruled Egypt for 3 years with her younger brother Ptolemy XIII until he ousted her from the throne. The exiled queen saw Julius Caesar's arrival as her chance to get back on the throne of Egypt if only she could convince this powerful Roman general to help her. She got herself into the palace hidden away from sights in a rolled-up carpet. The carpet was brought before Caesar as a gift, and as it was rolled out, Cleopatra suddenly appeared before him. She attracted him and succeeded to convince him to put her back onto the throne of Egypt. However, peace did not last for long because Cleopatra's brother, young Ptolemy XIII, soon ordered the Egyptian army to attack. The Great Fire. When Ptolemy Xii's army attacked the palace, the fighting spread throughout the royal quarter of Alexandria. The fire soon spread to the mainland, burning much of the royal quarter, including part of the Great Library of Alexandria. Like her ancestors, Cleopatra was highly educated. She spoke several languages, including Egyptian, which made her popular with the Egyptians. She had a child from Julius Caesar, Caesarion, meaning Little Caesar, who became Ptolemy XV and co-ruler of Egypt with his mother. Cleopatra traveled with Caesarion to Rome in 46 BCE, however, when Julius Caesar was assassinated there in 44 BCE, she returned to Alexandria. The Roman Empire was divided between Mark Antony and Octavian. Mark Antony traveled to the city of Tarsus. He sent invitation to Cleopatra to come to meet him. He wanted to test her loyalty to the Roman Empire. The Greek historian Plutarch wrote about Mark Antony describing his first meeting with Queen Cleopatra near Tarsus. She sailed in a boat with a gilded stern, purple sails, and silver oars. Musicians played on flutes and harps. The queen lay under a sunshade of golden cloth, dressed as the goddess Venus. Young boys, painted to look like the god Cupid, Antony was amazed by her. Eventually he returned with her to Alexandria, then they married and she had 3 children. Many artists and writers have been inspired by Plutarch's historical account of Antony and Cleopatra. One of them was William Shakespeare, who in 1623 wrote a play of Antony and Cleopatra. In 31 BCE, Antony and Cleopatra were defeated in a great sea battle, the Battle of Actium, by Octavian, who later became the Roman Emperor Augustus. The vanquished couple fled back to Egypt. The following year, Octavian invaded Egypt. Antony faced with total defeat. Antony took his own life. Cleopatra's suicide. A few days after Antony's suicide, Queen Cleopatra, rather than become a Roman prisoner, also took her own life. It is believed that she was bitten by a venomous Egyptian snake. Her young son, Caesarion, disappeared and he was assassinated. Thus, the Ptolemaic dynasty came to an end, and Egypt came under Roman rule.